It's now the main entrance of airline.
Okay.
You know.
Okay, but the Almighty area.
Yes, exactly. And they have the first phase of it.
Okay, but
now we go, at least up to 90% of it very soon.
Wow.
It will be completed. Then we're block 1, block 2, block 3, block 4, and block 5. And then we're line 1, line 2, line 3.
Okay, line 1, yes, line 2, line 3.
Yes.
So it was did all the like this, they quite set in the middle.
Exactly.
They quite at the back.
Exactly. Can Divine Glory Plaza.
Okay.
Can Ken Plaza. You want to be ready. Can Omopai Plaza.
Omopai Plaza.
Nwachukwu Plaza.
Nambada.
And then we have an Igogu Plaza.
And Adorakonyere Plaza.
Adorakonyere, Avenue.
Okay.
Yes, we're going with some Avenue.
What of Michael Rabara?
Michael Lapara again in Napa. Avenue, Michael Lapara.
Okay.
So we had all the prominent Igbo people came again in Ketija. So very soon, I can complete this first phase. We are coming to the second phase.
I would like to commend our governor. Few months back, I came back home to Ovu. It took me approximately an hour and a half to drive from Nwachukwu. Today, it took me 30 minutes to drive from Ovu to this place. As I came into town driving home, I kept looking for the usual potholes. I didn't see them. Governor, I am not one to praise people for the heck of it, no. Because there's nothing you're doing now that I haven't done before. So when I say to you, you're doing well, I mean exactly so. Abians must know that this man is performing. And we must give him all the support necessary to do even much more. Our state is now on the path of growth. And God will give you the essence, the strength, the wisdom, the wherewithal to take him even higher. Now,
that was the famous Abia International Market in Abia, and then General Nwachukwu, former senator representing Abia State in National Assembly, and a former military governor of Imo State and Lagos State, respectively, former Minister of External Affairs, a retired general of the Nigerian Army, giving credit to who credit is due, giving honor to who honor is due. Now, that's about Governor-elect Otti. This is just few testimonies of what one man's transformation of a state can do. Look at what he's doing in the first phase of Abia International Market. Look at the transformation one man has brought to a state, to a zone. One man. You do not need too many people to be able to make a change. You saw the transformation going on at Abia International Market, bringing the famous Abia International Market to international standard. Well organized, very well planned, and they're about to move to the second phase. Look at the testimony by General Nwachukwu, talking about traveling to his hometown from Umuahia, the state capital. What used to take him an hour and a half, he rode down in 30 minutes. That is the impact of leadership. without making noise. People promote you on their own. And General Nwachukwu, from what he said in that video, you can see that he is not one to go about praise-singing people. He is not one to go and exaggerate for a leader to feel good with him. What he told you there is exactly how he found it. That Otti is working. Now, this begs the question. Those who want to compete with Otti against his re-election in 2027, what are they going to promise Abia people? What are they going to say that they are going to do? Because it is important. Because you cannot say that you want to change Otti. You want, okay, APC, a land that they are packaging people. Some people say they are plotting to front the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Benjamin Carl, to come and contest for APC. What is Benjamin Carl or those who want to run against this man? What are they going to run on? What are they going to run on? What is it that you say you come and do? Because Abia people, they knew where they are coming from before now. And this man is not only developing the infrastructure, rehabilitating the infrastructure and building brand new ones, like what we witness in Abia. He's also touching every aspect of development. Abia State just came first in NECO exam in the whole Nigeria. So he's not only paying attention to the infrastructure, he's paying attention to education. He's paying attention to environment. He's paying attention to power. He's paying attention to all stratas of development. So you that is in PDP, trying to talk or try to rubbish him. The other day I saw somebody saying, do they know how much it cost him to build about Port Harcourt Road? How much it cost? Before Otti, we had Theodoroj, we had Ojus Okalu, we had all these people. What kind of roads were they building? But we are talking about a leader who for the first time brought Julius Berger to build a road in Abia State. And whether you like it or not, no matter your reservation about Julius Berger is still one of the best construction companies. Most of the roads in Abuja were built by them before the Chinese invasion. They are good. Their imprints are everywhere in Lagos, in River State. Everywhere good roads are built, good infrastructures are provided, you see the imprint of Julius Berger. But somebody is talking about, do you know how much was spent? What of those that were putting that money inside their pocket before Otti came on board? The issue is that those of them in APC, those of them in PDP, and every other political party you may think of, what is their candidate going to run on against Otti? What are they going to tell people that they are going to do differently? Now, if democracy is about meeting the needs and the aspiration of a people, and election is free and fair, I don't think that LXOT has any competition in Abia State in 2027. And why is LXOT a shining example of good governance? It is because LXOT has been the choice of the people of Abia State. He owes his government to the people of Abia State. That's why when he walks on the street, women rush to clean his shoes for him in reverence, not because these people, knowing the tradition of people of Southeast, who bows to no man, but Southeast also respect accomplishment, honesty, integrity, and performance. That's why he's highly revered now in Abia State, even in the whole Southeast. His performance is the yardstick that is used to measure others. He has done well. So those who are thinking of contesting against him, who are coming up with all kinds of stories, especially those of them from the APC and the PDP, who have nothing to offer, basically nothing to offer. What has APC done for Abia State? Absolutely nothing. Nothing. What of the PDP that was running that state since 1999? Nothing to show for it. You have a man who is paying workers regularly. For crying out loud, Abia is an oil producing state. So how come that Abia, under Ojo Zokalo, Theodore Oji, and Dr. Kesi Bazu, we have all this backlog of unpaid pensions, unpaid salaries? The University of Abia State in a sorry state. Lecturers not paid at the state polytechnics. Where is this man getting the money that he's paying all these people and the state is running? And you are telling me that APC, they are going to want to present Benjamin Khan. They want to present this one is the leader of APC in Abia. And they are talking of that they will challenge Otti, that they have something to offer. They don't have nothing to offer. This LXOT has shown what can be accomplished when you have honest leadership and a leader that was elected by the people. That's why this country is in a sorry state, because we are having a situation where those who are in charge were not elected. So they don't owe the people anything. Both from, just name them. Many of the people you go to and tell them, you know, we elected you. They know you didn't elect them. We know how they emerged. From senators to some state governors to even the presidency and all that. They know. When you go to them and say, we voted for you. They know you didn't vote. They know the real result. But when you elect a governor, a president that knows that he's there because of you, and he's also ready to work for you, like Dr. LXOT, you know that you are primed for development. And those who try to change that person in the coming election will have to work harder, extra hard, to be able to convince anybody that they can do anything. So whether we like it, whether they like it or not, whatever APC like, they can be talking about, writing about by their media people, APC, PDP, whatsoever they are writing. The people are not reading them. And one good thing about you, Dr. LXOT, is that Dr. Otti is working and the people are seeing it. So they don't have to go and pay mainstream media. Otti is not one of those governors that are running around media houses paying to get positive review. Because when you come with your negative reviews, the people already know who they are dealing with. They will know that they are just lying. So people like Dr. Otti, they have used good governance to defeat the negative media, whether sponsored or otherwise. So Dr. Otti is a study in excellency, a study in working for the people and reaping the benefit thereof. I don't know what to think about Dr. Otti. Do you think there's anybody, any political party that can challenge his re-election in 2027 in a free and fair election? Whatever is your position, let's hear from you at the comment section. Thank you for watching this video. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, Google will rank it high and recommend it for more people. Thank you, and God bless you and yours.